Are there many left? Gretel asked. She is as you'd want her to be, no matter what other adjectives you choose to describe this story, and several will no doubt come to mind. It is unquestionably democratic. Her size, complexion, her style, accent, native language, clothing, and everything else about her are up to you. This is your story as much as anyone's. Not too young, though. Whatever age you decide she is now, you'll soon wish you'd made her older because of the way this will end. The ending isn't negotiable. Democracy isn't going to reach quite that far. She is talking to Hansel. Again, decide for yourself what he looks like, who he is. Just keep one thing in mind. He is Gretel's brother. They are not friends, they are not lovers, they're not anything else you might think of. Gretel and Hansel are sister and brother. That's very important. Gretel is asking Hansel about breadcrumbs. It was Gretel's idea. She said they should bring a bag of breadcrumbs on their walk through the woods and leave a trail behind them so that they could follow it back if they got lost. Hansel thought this was the stupidest thing he had ever heard, but Gretel insisted. Well, sure enough, they are now lost, and it's important that they still have a supply of breadcrumbs if they are going to continue their journey. If they don't, they will have to go home again, and that would be disappointing. Hansel knows the answer already, but looks in the bag anyway. Nearly finished, he says. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the end of that. Uh-huh. They turn around. There's surprisingly few breadcrumbs on the path, given how liberally Hansel was dropping them just moments ago. Although they didn't realise it, birds were swooping down and eating them almost as soon as they had hit the ground. They're still doing that now, but they will soon have to find another source of food, because there are hardly any breadcrumbs to be seen. Don't say it, said Gretel. Say what? Don't say I told you. I hate it when you do that. Well, to be fair, that's exactly what I told you. Shut up! They walked back the way they came, or tried to. They weren't paying attention to the route they took through the woods, and each time they came to a turning, they had to guess which path they should follow. This is not going well. They continue to walk for a while when Gretel stops. She has seen something through the gap in the trees and wants a closer look. She walks towards it. Hansel follows. Gretel's first thought is correct. It's a house. Someone has built a house in these woods. Who, they wonder, would do that? It's not like this place is blessed with amenities. There can't be any electricity or water supply. Maybe it's a holiday home, but surely you'd want to stay somewhere more comfortable if you were on holiday. It looks, she begins, but doesn't complete the sentence because she knows Hansel will mock her if she tells him what she is thinking. It looks what? Promise you won't laugh? No. Gretel sighs, the way sisters sigh when their brothers are being annoying. It looks like it's made of gingerbread. It can't be. I know it can't. I'm not stupid. Well, stop it. Actually, I see what you mean. It does look like that. They walk up to the house. The gingerbread effect has not diminished. It is definitely what the walls at least appear to have been made of. Gretel reaches out and finds the texture is very similar to that of gingerbread. There is also a sweet smell in the air, or there seems to be. Maybe she's imagining that. But no, Hansel says he's noticed it too. The surface of the wall crumbles slightly at her touch. Gretel looks at the little pieces on her fingers and cautiously licks them. Good grief. This actually is. Why are you eating my house? Someone asks in a jovial tone. Gretel and Hansel turn round guiltily. They see a woman carrying logs. She seems friendly. I'm really sorry, says Gretel. It's just I've never seen a house made of... Oh, don't worry, says the woman. Everyone does it. Look, I'm just about to light a fire. Come in and join me for a cup of tea. Are you sure? Hansel asks. We don't want to interrupt. It's fine, says the woman. I like having company. She opens the front door of the house, which isn't locked. Gretel and Hansel follow her inside and, at her request, sit down at an impressively sturdy wooden dining table. The woman lights a fire in what she refers to as an oven, but it's much bigger than any oven they have ever seen. More of a furnace, really. Then lights another in a small stove on which she places the kettle. Then she opens a drawer, takes out a knife and uses it to cut up some slices of loaf of bread. The knife seems incongruously large and vicious for this purpose, but perhaps it's the only knife she has. "Why gingerbread, though?" Hansel asks. "I trained to be a baker," says the woman. "I really enjoy making gingerbread, but there's only so much of it you can eat, so I started using it for the walls." "That's impossible," says Hansel. He has an interest in architecture, and although he's unlikely to take it any further, he knows a bit about construction methods. "Why is it impossible?" "Gingerbread isn't strong enough to make a house out of it. It would collapse before the walls were a foot high." "Oh, I see. No, it's not structural. The frame of the house is made of wood and there are proper walls. I don't know the details. I didn't build the place. I got some guys to do that. The gingerbread is only there as a sort of coating. It doesn't last long, but when it starts looking bad, I just make some more. Like I said, I really enjoy that." "Don't the birds eat it?" Gretel asks, remembering the breadcrumb fiasco. "I thought they might, but they don't. I'm not sure why. Maybe they don't like the taste." "So you're a baker?" Hansel asks. "No, I never took that up professionally. I'm not good enough. And anyway, I wouldn't want to do it all the time. It's just a hobby." "What are you then?" "Hansel," says Gretel, kicking his shin under the table. "Ow! What?" "Don't ask things like that. It's rude." "It's fine. I don't mind telling you," says the woman. "Well, if you're sure," says Gretel. "I'm a witch," says the witch. Gretel and Hansel don't know how to respond to this. You probably wouldn't either. "That doesn't usually go down well," says the witch. "What? A real witch?" Gretel asks. "Of course a real witch. I'm not an amateur." "How do you make a living as a witch?" Hansel asks. "Oh, I get by. There's hardly any money in it, but as you can see, I live simply." The kettle boils. The witch removes it from the stove. "I have plenty of milk and sugar if you want any," she says, "and you can have some bread and butter. I'd offer jam too, but I had the last of it at breakfast." "Can I use your toilet first?" Hansel asks. The witch smiles. "You could, if I had one. I'm afraid you'll have to go out and find a bush. There are plenty nearby." Hansel thanks her and leaves the house. "Nice lad," says the witch, walking back to the table carrying a tray laden with kettle, a teapot, 3 mugs, milk, sugar, butter and several slices of bread. "He can be a bit of a pain sometimes," says Gretel. "Ha!" says the witch. "Tell me about it. I have a brother too." She goes to the breadboard and picks up the large, threatening knife. "Or I did." "Oh, what happened to him?" "Long story." The witch returns, but instead of taking her seat, she slams the knife down in front of Gretel. Gretel yelps in alarm at the force of her action and the sounds of ringing metal and thudding wood. The witch leans forward, puts her hand firmly on the table and stares into Gretel's soul. "So, about this witch business," she says. "Yes," Gretel whimpers fearfully. "I'll keep it simple. The gingerbread is on the walls of the house to lure people in. It works pretty well, as you've discovered. And then I have them for dinner, by which I mean I'm the one who has the dinner. They're the dinner. I hope I'm making myself clear." Gretel screams. "Oh, be quiet," says the witch. "You're going to be okay. Well, psychologically damaged beyond all hope of recovery, but physically okay. I don't usually eat girls, if there's an alternative. It just seems so uncivilized. Know what I mean? It's the boy I'm going to eat. You can watch if you like." "Joke." "You're going to watch anyway. But I could never make a good meringue," she adds unexpectedly as she hears the door open behind her. "Meringues are almost impossible to get right. I don't know how anyone does it. She turns round and smiles at Hansel. Find somewhere suitable? Yeah, thanks. Look, did I hear someone scream just now? You did, said the witch, picking up the monstrous knife and luring at him. It's oven time for you, baby. What follows is too awful to describe in detail, so you're going to have to use your imagination, as you did at the start. There are shouts. There are shrieks. There is panic. There is terror. There are punches. There are kicks. There are wild swings of a knife. There is a sudden, unbearable heat from the now raging furnace when its door is hurled open. And finally, as a horrific climax to this brutal affair, there is the most terrible of sounds. The scream of a woman dying in agony. The scream ends abruptly, but the agony continues for a little longer. The now unrecognisable body has been placed on the table. A more wretched, horrific sight can hardly be contemplated, but the smell, it has to be said, is very appealing. Onions and garlic are fried. A sauce is prepared. Wine is provided. The meat tastes remarkably good, considering the haphazard nature of its preparation. Hansel smiles when he is offered a refill. Just half a glass, thank you. He eats another few mouthfuls, then says he has had enough for one meal. There is more of Gretel still lying in front of him, and it seems a shame to waste her. But the witch says she will make sandwiches from what is left in the morning.